Hey, Fred, got your text. You said it was important? Okay, what'd you do this time? Alright, okay, no questions, got it. Okay, what exactly do you need? Okay, uh, some, survival supplies, bare essentials, something light. So, do you want, like, my EDC kit, or... Okay, something that you can take with you and be able to survive with just that. That what you want? Okay, I happen to just have the right perfect thing. That right there is my new and improved emergency survival kit. Or my only one. First one. I honestly can't remember how many survival kits I've made. But that right there, you can just grab that, run into the forest, and survive with just the stuff that you get with that, and the stuff it'll allow you to get. Oh, you don't think it'll work? Well then, allow me to show you everything in it. Fred, after this, you are never going to question me again. Alright, first off, the thing that the kit comes in is a Ziploc bag. Just a Ziploc bag. I mean, it's got some uses, but it's mainly just there to hold the kit. But let's get to the actual stuff in the kit. Alright, first off, we got some shelter items. First off, we got a paracord bracelet. Now, I actually just originally kept this. I actually just kept it in there for the compass because I needed a compass, but it was the smallest one I had access to, even with the extra stuff. But I'm counting it as a shelter item because, well, it's got a lot of paracord. It's also got a whistle and a fire steel, but the fire steel is borderline impossible to actually start a fire with, and I don't really see why you would need a whistle when you're on the run. But regardless. Now we got a trash bag. I was originally going to put in a poncho, but I had to cut some room. Basically, it could be used for a lot of things. Shelter building, emergency poncho, and if you manage to put together a shelter without needing it, fill it with leaves and boom, instant pillow. And of course, I got a Mylar blanket. This can be used as a shelter item, or it can be used to just keep you cool, keep you warm, or it can even keep you cool. It really depends. At least I think, yeah, they keep you cool. Can keep you cool too. But also, I actually saw a way on how to use these to cook food, but that's not important. But that concludes the shelter portion of the kit. Next up, water. Alright, for water items, I got my Sawyer water filter. Really, I don't have anything else for this. It's a water filter. It filters out most things. It does leave a bad chlorine taste in the water, but it filters almost everything out, and it can filter up to 100,000 gallons of water. It's great, and the squeeze pouch also can double as a water storage system, kind of like having a canteen or a water bottle. Which is good because I don't have another one in the kit. So, with that in mind, the next category is fire. Alright, it's a lighter. Usually I like to carry at least 3 methods of starting a fire, but I had to cut down room to be able to fit multiple more things. So I'm sticking with just a lighter. I could have gone with matches or magnesium fire steel, but I went with a lighter because not only is it the most compact option, but it's the most reliable. And of course, that's pretty much it. So, there's also the fact that it works. So, with that in mind, let's get on to the next part of this, which is food. Now, I don't actually have any food in the kit, but here I actually, in giving you 3 different methods of getting food. First off, got some wire. This is mostly to make snare traps. It's a good length of wire and enough to make quite a few pretty good snare traps, which you can use for hunting small animals. And, well, if you get really creative with traps, you can actually hunt some medium-sized ones, just definitely not large game. And of course, a trap is never going to work unless you got bait. So here we got 3 of my waterproof containers of salt. Now, if you want to know how to make these containers, I did a video tutorial on how to do them a while ago. But I recommend watching that video. But if you don't want to make them or just can't, once I start selling stuff on the Backyard Armory, those are gonna be some of the stuff I'm selling. And then the biggest thing in this category, and one of the biggest things in the kit, is this Altoid tin, which has inside my new and improved fishing kit. It's the exact same stuff, I just trimmed the fat and put it in a smaller thing. It used to be a pretty big Ziploc bag and had quite a bit more stuff in it. But in this, I got hooks, a length of line, not the big reel of it that I had in my old one, lures, hooks, weights, a bobber, and I still got plenty more space in this. And by plenty, I mean enough to put some stuff in, but honestly, I'm not really sure plenty was the right word. But it's compact, and it's probably going to be a good method for getting food if you have access to a body of water, which honestly is going to be very useful, but you can make do with this. And you could potentially make a hunting weapon, with some of that paracord from earlier. Now, with food out of the way, let's get to miscellaneous survival items. Alright, this is another small category, but we got a tube of bug spray. Now, bugs suck. When you're in the woods, they're going to attack you nonstop. It's a small tube, but it will do its job for keeping them off you for a fair bit. And it can be used as an emergency fire starter. Plus, if you put it in front of an open flame, it can be used as a person repellent instead of a bug repellent. And of course, we got a bandana. There are hundreds of uses for a bandana. I don't really think I'm going to need to explain more. And I was thinking about doing a video on the various ways you can wear a bandana. But regardless, that's miscellaneous survival items. I think next, we only have one category. And that is tools. Alright, first off, of course, the most important tool in any that you can have in a survival situation is a knife. Now, I stand by saying that a fixed blade knife is the best knife you can have in a survival situation, but can't fit a fixed blade knife in here, or at least none that I have. So, my trusty pocket knife that I've had for almost a year now is still my go-to. I almost put in my Swiss Army knife because of extra tools, but my Swiss Army knife's tools wouldn't be the most useful. I mean, other than a knife, it's got scissors that don't really do much, a bottle and can opener, and I severely doubt there's going to be many cans and bottles in the woods for you to use. And one thing that I don't even know what it is. So, the pocket knife seemed like a better choice, especially since the blade is bigger and sharper. And right next to it, you are probably asking what this is. It is half of the blade that broke off of my hacksaw. It's a cheap blade, but it is certainly going to be able to cut wood. Yeah, so yeah, it's a way of keeping a small saw in your kit, and since it takes up almost no space, it just fit into in between a tiny gap that wouldn't fit anything else. There's really no reason not to bring it, but it is very useful because it is good at making the square or triangular cuts in wood that are used for making tent stakes, deadfall traps, and various other things which are quite hard to do with a knife, especially a smaller knife. So this is actually quite useful. Plus, think about it like this. Say you need a stick that's a certain length. It's a lot easier to use this saw blade than to cut it to the right size than it is to break the stick to the right size, hoping that you don't actually manage to get it to the right size, hoping it doesn't split down the middle. And of course, it's a lot cleaner too. Ultimately, it's a great thing to have. So that's the tools of the kit, and ultimately, that is the last of it. Alright, Fred, so that's everything that was in the kit, but there are plenty of other things you might want to bring with you. For instance, I'm going to say this time and time again, but a fixed blade knife is going to be very important. And above all else, it's the most important survival tool you can have. I'd say it's above saws, axes, machetes, all of that. And of course, traps are good. Fishing is okay, but a good hunting weapon is going to make sure that you have food more reliably, as long as there's a wild game nearby and you're somewhat competent in the means of hunting. And of course, I mentioned that I wanted to do this instead earlier, but poncho is an easy upgrade to the trash bag. And of course, one more time, never underestimate the use of a light source when in an emergency. And of course, a weapon is going to be pretty useful if you end up in a fight with a person or an animal, such as this fighting knife, which I'm going to do a tutorial video on how to make soon. So, there you go, Fred. So, have fun going off grid. When can I expect you back to show up in videos again? Alright, no questions, got it. Just make sure to text me before you get back. Alright. So, without further ado, everyone say goodbye to Fred for now. He won't be able to show up in videos for a while, for some reason. He's refusing to tell. So, without further ado, you know what, Fred? I'm gonna let you do the outro this time.